We'll be starting shortly. Good afternoon, everybody. Bonjour à tous. Thank you for joining us for this media availability with Interim Chief Bell. Joining us are Deputy Commissioner Chris Harkins from the OPP and RCMP Deputy Commissioner Mike Durham, Federal Policing. Merci de vous joindre à nous pour le point de presse du chef par intérim Steve Bell. Le commissaire adjoint Chris Harkins de la PPO et le sous-commissaire Mike Durham de la GRC, Police fédérale, sont également présents. My name is Constable Param Singh, and I will be the moderator. We will begin with remarks from Interim Chief Bell, and then we will proceed to a 10 to 15-minute question period. Je suis l'agent Param Singh et le modérateur pour la période de questions de 15 à 20 minutes. Nous commençons d'abord par l'énoncé du chef par intérim, Steve Bell.
Thank you, Param. Thank you. Bonjour à tous. We're here to provide you today with an update on our operations to end the unlawful protests that have done so much damage to our community and so much harm to our residents. The operational plan is moving ahead as we expected, and the contingencies we've put in place are effectively dealing with the threats we're seeing on the ground. I thank the Ottawa residents for their patience and support as they watch this operation unfold. I also thank all the planners, officers, and emergency personnel, many of whom have come from across the country to assist us. I'm proud to work with all of them. Their assistance has been vital to the success we are seeing so far in this operation. We're in control of the situation on the ground and continue to push forward to clear our streets. This methodical and well-resourced plan will take time, and we are here to see it through to a safe ending. Last night, we began to take additional actions towards implementing our operation. We moved officers and equipment into key positions throughout the city and took up 100 checkpoints around the downtown core. We began making arrests of key individuals who were responsible for organizing these unlawful activities. This morning, public order units and a significant number of officers were deployed to support our operations. We first focused on the Nicholas Street area, where unlawful protests were gathered with trucks. Even this morning, all unlawful protesters were given many opportunities to leave. Officers then turned to the intersection of Rideau and Sussex, making more arrests and clearing that location. As of 3 p.m. today, we've arrested 70 people. They have been charged with multiple various offences, including mischief. Work is underway by the City of Ottawa to remediate and clean up the area that we have gained back today. We also saw children that were present in the area. We've prepared for this and have plans to ensure that these children are unharmed during our operation. Before I take questions, I want to acknowledge that these are not the images that Ottawa residents want to see. Ottawa is a welcoming and diverse city. It's a city we're all proud of. We regularly host lawful and peaceful protests. This is Family Day weekend, and usually our downtown is filled with people enjoying the city, our market, and the canal. We're focused on returning our city to the place that we all know and love. We will run this operation 24 hours a day until the residents and community have their entire city back. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Can you ask anyone to put the microphone? Please identify yourself by name and media, and you have one question with a follow-up question.
Thank you. Joanne Kinello, CBC News. Hi, Chief Bell. You know, I was out at Mackenzie Avenue and Rideau, and many officers of many units are out there holding the line there, sort of pushing the folks westbound, I guess, on Wellington. It's getting to be late in the afternoon, and I'm just wondering, as much as you can you tell us what the plan is now? When I was there anyway, for about an hour, everyone was sort of just standing still, more or less. Obviously, people would like to know how long this would take. I don't know if you can say that, but maybe if you can say about what might happen overnight and what the next steps are. Thank you.
So we have articulated from the very beginning, we have a very deliberate and methodical plan that's been extremely well resourced. I want to thank Commissioner Carrique, Commissioner Lucky, every police chief across Canada, every police chief in Ontario who have dedicated resource to help us staff the plan and see all the officers that you're seeing today. We, from the beginning, have indicated that we would need to move slowly, safely, respecting charter rights as we look to demobilize this demonstration. We will continue to do that, and we will work day and night until this is completed.
And just as a follow-up, maybe you could talk a little bit about the kind of resistance you're seeing. Is it mostly peaceful? Is it, obviously you've arrested 70 people, so perhaps not, but perhaps you could describe what it's been like for officers out there and what they're finding as they meet the protesters.
So the officers out there, I know everyone's seen many images through the day, have been nothing short of exceptionally professional all day. We have a plan. We articulated that plan to them, and they have executed it extremely well throughout the day. The level of professionalism that they're seeing in the face of taunts, slurs towards them is challenging, but we're seeing their ongoing professionalism every minute of every day. We will continue to do that. Our officers will continue to work exceptionally hard to make sure that we use the least amount of force needed to actually peacefully end this protest and move everyone out of our streets.
Hi, Chief Bell. John Mullen with the Citizen. Have officers had to help Children's Aid remove any children from families at this point?
So we spoke yesterday about the fact we did have plans and we're working continually with Children's Aid around safety and security of children in the crowds. We developed those plans hoping that we weren't going to have to use them. I can tell you to this point, we have had no need to interact with Children's Aid as it relates to children within the crowd. What I will tell you is that even through all the planning, it still shocks and surprises me that we are seeing children put in harm's way in the middle of a demonstration where a police operation is unfolding. We will continue to look after their safety and security, but we implore all the parents who have kids in there, get the kids out of there. They do not need to be in the middle of this. It is not a safe place for them.
Chief, what we see downtown right now, do you expect this to be the posture going right through the long weekend?
As I indicated, we've started this operation. We talked about our increasing plans yesterday in terms of securing the downtown core. We have a plan. It's well-resourced, and we will continue to execute on that plan until everyone is gone from our streets and the residents that own those streets get them back.
Mari Wolf from the Canadian Press. We've seen forces from Quebec, from Durham, down there on the front line.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Thank you.
Mari Wolf from the Canadian Press. There are police officers from Quebec, Durham, various forces down there on the front line. Can you give us an idea of how many police officers are being mobilized in this operation?
So we won't be disclosing any of our operational numbers, but I'll again point back to the level of cooperation and partnership we've had with every police service, every law enforcement agency across Canada, unparalleled and absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of how our community, of how our police agencies and how all other support services have come together to mobilize to end this unlawful demonstration.
And I noticed that some of the police from Quebec have tear gas. Are you prepared to use tear gas, and is that a last resort?
So we've developed a well-articulated plan. We continue to work with the protesters, the demonstrators, to encourage them to leave the area. We have a very well-scripted warning that's provided to them, and every moment that they can leave, they are afforded the opportunity to leave. We have well-developed plans that will ensure ultimate removal of those protesters from our streets.
Hi there, Chris Nashkate, CTV National News. My first question is, did police use any of the powers conferred under the Emergencies Act to make any arrests today, or did you use the powers of existing law and the Ontario state of emergency?
So I can tell you the three levels of government that have come together to support our efforts in this have led us to be able to have the success we're starting to see right now. The Emergency Measures Act, the Provincial Emergency Act, as well as the City of Ottawa Emergency and Injunction that have been provided, have created the ability for us to use powers and use new and existing powers to be able to properly deal with the demonstration to ultimately bring it to an end. Without the authorities that have been provided to us through these pieces of legislation, we wouldn't be able to be doing the work we are today.
My other question here is, you talked about the arrests, thank you for that. But during the live video today on CTV News Channel, we saw in between when there was the hold the line issue there between the protesters and the police, there was some hitting amongst one another. Was there any injuries? Are you reporting any injuries right now from police and protesters?
So I can tell you we have no injuries from the protester. We have one injury to one of the members of the police team. It was a minor injury that has been treated.
Chief, I'm cheating here with an extra question, but I'm just wondering if we have an update on, or an estimate as to how many protesters are actually still here. It's mixed in with media. It's kind of hard to tell. Is there any update you can give us on that?
So again, we're not providing numbers, a number of people present, number of operational resources we're using as we move ahead. What
I mean
will-
for the protesters.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
oh,
we're
okay.
not providing any of those numbers. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.